We are your entertainment this morning.
Yes, we are.
Good morning.
It'll be a fun one.
Your head's
Morning,
going to be
everybody.
even shinier.
Oh, cool. Had one land right on me.
So we're extra entertainment this morning because Gary Novikov is not able to be with us today. He hurt his back. So we send our love and our treatments and our
bubbles.
healing energy and our bubbles to Gary. And we shall be your entertainment.
Feel better, Gary.
Feel better, Gary. So good morning, everyone. We're so glad you're with us this morning. Michael and I are here to not just entertain you, but to inspire you as well. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Morristown broadcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where and you're watching from and when you're watching. Maybe you're on YouTube or on Facebook Live. The theme for the month is still 2020 Vision. We're starting to prepare for the next year already. And actually, that's the theme for the year. For the month, it is Cosmic Connections. And today's topic is being in cosmic connection. And Michael Mallack is here with us. He's a Leadership Council member, a member of Center for Spiritual Living Morristown. As you've seen in the blurb, he's a podcaster, cue to coach. Check that out. So what I'm going to talk about today, and Michael is going to do a spiritual practice for us that's going to be really powerful and deep meditation. But I want to talk about how we know at some level that the truth is already present, it's already available. That it's in everyone, everything, everywhere, all the time. It's already happening as the cosmic connection. We're all connected to one another, no matter how we feel about it. We're all connected to spirit, no matter whether we believe it or not. And so what we're experiencing in the world today is a seeming disconnect. What if that seeming disconnect is just a big shift? And the big shift is about coming together with self, with other, with the greater community, and to remember that we're already here living the truth and that we can do it more consciously and more powerfully. And by, instead of standing on the shifting ground of change, standing on the solid ground of truth. So we're going to talk about that today. So my name is Frankie Timmers. I'm the spiritual director here. And we want you to go to our website, cslmorristown.org, to check out all the things that we have happening. And also in case you would love to give and support this community. And to just get some inspiration, like Michael's blog is on there. Right, Michael?
Absolutely. Blog, the classes that are coming up. Classes that are happening right now.
Yeah.
Really great stuff. The Revealing Wholeness class is absolutely tremendous with Reverend Janice helping us out as well.
Yeah.
Lots of great stuff lined up.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. So while we're here, we are live streaming on Facebook and YouTube Live, but we are also going to have a restream that will happen afterwards that you can check out anytime throughout the week or whenever you get around to it, or if you just want to, take a look at it again. So hello, and thank you very much for joining us. As Reverend Frankie said, I'm a student here and part of the Leadership Council and soon to be on the education team starting tomorrow night. So let us know how you relate, what your experience is, and if you have any questions and or tips for how to make this live stream a little bit better. I'm going to be paying attention on my phone, so don't mind me if you see me looking down. I'm going to be trying to pay attention to your comments about the audio, about the video feed, and anything else. Hit the bubbles, tag somebody, share the broadcast, do a watch party, invite others to our page, so please help share the love, spread it far and wide.
Yay. Yes. So let us start with an opening treatment, which is our word for affirmative prayer. So I invite you to close your eyes and just take a moment to connect, to cosmically connect with your essential nature. And to remember that the life that each of us lives in this human experience is for us, for our good, for our evolution, for our awakening. So everything we are experiencing, and yes, everything has meaning, probably deeper meaning than we can see. or know or understand. And so today we allow for the experience of the deep and the deeper. Today we look beyond the surface of life and we see spirit operating in, as, for, and around us. And whatever we call this, the universal life force, energy, God, spirit, the divine essence, it is all that is, ever was, and ever will be. It is that which rises the sun and sets it in the evening. And it is that which changes the seasons with utter predictability. So today we trust life's unfolding, and by trusting it, we make space inside of us to have a deeper connection with ourselves, with each other, and with the divine. And so we're grateful to be together in this way, which exists forever now in the Ethernet, blessing those beyond this community and who's watching today. And so we let this morning and this afternoon, this evening, unfold based upon truth, on divine love, knowing that healing is happening as we speak. That is simply the revealing of truth, the revealing of light and love. And so it is.
And so it is.
So today I was really wanting to share this story of Indra's net. And some of you may have heard of it because it sounds like internet, but it's kind of a metaphor for that as well. And it is called Indra's jewel net, or just Indra's net, or Indra's jewel, or net of a jewel. And it's a story that has been around. It's a cosmology, really, not just a story. It's been around for over 3,000 years. And it has flown into Buddhism and Hinduism both. And it's about the god Indra, who was a sky god. He was a bit of a magician. He is mentioned in the Vedas, the old Hindu scriptures. And he lived in a realm where there was a net, an infinite net. You can kind of imagine it like an infinite, multi-dimensional spider web. But this infinite net that covers the entire realm of life, and where they intersect, there is a jewel, kind of like an eye. And that jewel is infinite, and there's an infinite amount of jewels. And we can think of each of us as one jewel at the intersection of each part of the net. And it reflects this idea that we are infinitely connected, and that there's an interbeing going on, and that in physics it describes the universe. When we think about the internet, it describes the universe, that infinite connection that we don't even fully understand or know its capacity of. And so in a way, we're always in this cosmic connection. We're never not in it. We cannot possibly be outside of it. It would stop our hearts and stop our lungs from working, because it's all beautifully, perfectly, cosmically, and infinitely connected. And we're in it, whether we see it or not, feel it or not, like it or not, deny it or not. It is the truth of our very being. And so what we see in the world at times, maybe all the time, is this disconnect. And we may feel disconnected. Maybe we feel disconnected from our neighbor. Maybe we feel disconnected from people who are struggling and suffering, or other countries, or whole other worlds. And so in the disconnect, we might be feeling a lot of anxiety. When I talk to people, what I hear is a lot of anxiety is happening. And some of the anxiety is so unconscious that it outpictures in ways that people are surprised. They might be drinking or drugging, they might be angry, or they might be grieving, or they might be resisting a change, any change, or they might experience other addictions. And so it's very important for us to identify anxiety and to use the tools that are available to work with them, whether they're spiritual or not. But we live right now at a time where there seems to be incredible anxiety all over the world because of this pandemic, and it has many effects that we haven't even seen yet. And so this anxiety, to me, for being on a spiritual path, and I know that's true for Michael as well, is that when we experience disconnect or anxiety or stress or fear or pain or grief, it is an invitation to be more connected to our true self, to each other, and to our essential nature. So this stress is calling us deeper into the ground of our being, where everything is connected and everything we need to thrive, not just survive, is available. And it starts with our being nature. We think it starts with our doing nature, right? And so people say, well, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to keep busy and I got to clean out my basement and my attic now that I have a chance. So we tend to do more, which is just another way of distracting ourselves, being disconnected and not being in the truth, not being in the connection, not being in the stillness. So many people say to me that they can't meditate or they won't meditate because the moment they sit still, all that anxiety rises up. So they're always running from it, but it's always there. It doesn't go away. So I always suggest that they start small. I myself started with an egg timer because it was torture for me to sit still for 1 minute. And so now meditation is so much a part of my everyday practice, and I cannot imagine not having that. Because it's in the stillness, in the being, that I find my true sustenance from which to do. And then my doing is service and harmonious and loving, and it feeds me. And that may not always be true. I mean, it isn't always true for me, but it's mostly true. And so it's Carl Jung who said, who you are is what heals. Who you are is what heals, not what you do or what you know, but who you are is what heals. And so we have this opportunity right now to use the world as a mirror, which is very much what we teach in the Science of Mind, is that the world is a mirror for us. It's showing us what we are thinking, what we're feeling, what we believe. And so people are saying, oh, the world is so divided. Oh, this country is so divided. Could it possibly be that it's just a universal law showing us how divided we really are inside? And we're being called to be aligned, to have more balance, and to be more aware of and live from our being nature. And so I believe that what's really happening is a really big, massive shift in consciousness. It's like a mental, emotional, spiritual, massive, massive earthquake. Doesn't it feel like that? Doesn't it in some way feel, yes, the ground beneath your feet is solid, but doesn't it feel sometimes like you're just being shaken up, so that which doesn't serve you just kind of loosens and falls away? And so the shift really that's happening is that we're moving into a consciousness from separation to oneness. We're moving into a consciousness from hatred and fear to love. We're moving into a consciousness from selfish, narcissistic, all those words, to being aware that we're part of a greater community. We're moving from doing and having and getting more to being, and to allow ourselves to be aware that our being nature is the most sacred aspect of our very self. We're moving from the banal to the sacred. Back to the sacred, together, because Indra's net, where everything is connected, and each jewel in it being infinite and infinitely connected to all the other jewels, is what the invitation is for all of us. To be aware that we are in this together. to connect more deeply with self, with each other, and with the divine. And so that means that a whole new way is presenting itself. I don't say much anymore when people say, I can't wait to go back to normal, or I can't wait for things to go back to normal. I used to, but I know this, we're not going back to normal. And we don't want to go back to normal. Normal wasn't that good. We were in denial of it. But a new normal, I'm not even sure if I like to use the word new normal, because it still makes us be so attached to the idea of normal. But there's definitely a rebirth happening. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel that call of we're being asked to change? And if we won't change, then the world around us will change, and then we're forced to change. Some of us are experiencing that at our center with all the change that is taking place, with us moving from a building to a more expanded way of being together that's healthier for everyone, not just past, not just present, but future. And so we don't want to go back. But we want to go forward, remembering the jewel of spirit in each and every one of us, in all of life, in all communities, in all connection. And we who are on a spiritual path, or we who are in this teaching called the science of mind, have a very unique role. Not better, not worse. Because there's sometimes the danger to think that because we're on the spiritual path, we think we're better. That is not true at all. The truth is we're all enlightened already. We just don't believe it. So we're coming to believe that it's already the truth. It just means being aligned, human and spirit, as one. And so we are called to play that unique role in the greater community. Those of us who are aware, who do know, who do study, who do practice, who do read, we know that we have a unique role to be in the world, and we're being called in powerful and sometimes painful ways to stand in the truth. And so the question is, how do I show up without shame, without blame, without judgment for self or other? So how do I show up in this? Where do I stand? And I have an invitation for you and for myself and for Michael, of course, that we stand in divine authority. We stand in divine authority. The beautiful meme for this week's invitation is the quote by Ernest Holmes saying, "No greater good can come to you than to know that the power already within you is the power to live, the power to create." There's a part 2 for that. Not only to create for yourself, but for others. The power to do good, the power to heal, the power to prosper. You are to realize that the power within you is a divine authority. It's a dispenser of divine gifts. It's a giver of life, of joy. It proclaims the kingdom of heaven, the harmony of the soul, and the unity of all beings. The words of Ernest Holmes from Holmes' Reader on Change, which he wrote in 55, still true today. So divine authority, standing in divine authority really means to live from that deeper knowing, that cosmic connection. It requires that we're still, that we listen, that we're just being, right? And then to remember that there is really no disappointment. I love what Michael Beckwith says, that all disappointment is a divine appointment. Isn't that great? It's a divine appointment. That means that when I'm disappointed, I better put my butt in my chair or on my cushion and say, let me sit here and hear the divine appointment. What's being asked of me? What is calling inside of me? What wants to be healed? What wants to be known? How must I change? And then there's a divine invitation. Divine authority, divine appointment, divine invitation. The divine invitation is that you practice acceptance of what is. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You don't have to agree. Just accept what is. And then move from acceptance to alignment and realignment. That once I accept something that's difficult to accept, I can align myself once again with the truth and realign myself in my actions, in how I show up in the world. And then there's a vow. I first thought I made it up, but apparently it is a verb, is to make a vow. So accept what is, align with the truth and live from it, and a vow. Make a promise to yourself. You know, I make promises to myself all the time and I break them often. It's just an opportunity to practice forgiveness and self-love and then re-vow again, to make a new vow again. Yes, everybody in the sphere of this broadcast or rebroadcast, you're already enlightened. Everybody is. We would not have incarnated if we hadn't been enlightened. But the moment we were born, we forgot. And so we're given this life to remember the light within us and within each other, and to be aligned in our human experience with our essential nature. And then we practice letting go what's in the way, which I know is a lot, especially now. Letting go what's in the way. Letting go of what's in the way of our cosmic connection with each other, with ourselves, and with the divine. And that's an ongoing process. I think sometimes on the spiritual path we think, oh, if I keep working, I'm going to be done one day. No. Mm-mm. Well, I guess when you die, but even that I'm not sure of. But it's a process. It's a constant awakening. It's a deepening. I'm sure each of you are not the same person today you were a year ago. And so that's how that happens. And so we get to see what that wants to become, release what's in the way, and deepen our connection and living from that. So that's about all I have to say today. And so we get to now experience a meditation with Michael that he does so beautifully. He so beautifully lives in this rich place of his own spiritual practices. And so they are not just a meditation practice, but they are actually like a prayer. It's a healing practice. So I turn it over to Michael.
Thank you. Beautiful message.
Thank you.
As always. And yeah, so this meditation is going to be very much in line with the theme of cosmic connection. And you know, just real quickly, when I first got here, I was just recovering from drug addiction. I had attention deficit disorder. I had all this anxiety all the time. I was completely unable to sit still for 5 minutes, let alone actually sit still and stop myself from thinking. So silent meditation is fantastic once you really get to understand how to use that, and just having music in the background. But for me, the biggest part of helping me get into meditation was guided meditations. Because we're so caught up in our analytical minds all the time, and this was beautiful analytical food for our brain to think. But to take it deeper and to take that cosmic connection into place, we have to be able to shut off the analytical mind, and we have to be able to just get into that zone. And sometimes the visualization just really helps to keep your mind from racing into other thoughts, because you have something to point your attention to, just one specific thing. And that really helps me, somebody with attention deficit. So, you know, here we go. We're going to go into this little space. So I invite you, if you are home and in a comfortable spot, if you can be in cross-legged position with your back straight up, then I encourage you to do so. If not, maybe just a chair, wherever you're sitting, just put your feet on the floor. Get yourself nice and comfortable. We'll take a few deep breaths. Just get that calm sense of connection together. Just try and take a deep breath in through your nose, inhaling, and then a nice long breath out through your mouth. And I just invite you to take your left hand and put it over your abdomen right over your solar plexus and sacral chakras there, and then put your right hand over that. And as you breathe in, you want to breathe in and just feel this orb of energy within your solar plexus and sacral chakra, just vibrating with light and love and divine purpose. Just know that we're all connected right here as we do this. Just take that deep breath in and feel it contract. As you let the breath out, just let that orb of energy within you just expand a little bit. Each out breath, just let it expand a little bit larger than the last. Contract into the initial size. And breathe out and let that orb of energy and love just expand until it's larger than your body. And now as you contract that energy in, contract it all the way back to the beginning again, that small space within you. And out as big as the room that you're in. Just continue to let that energy expand. Contract. Now expand as large as the building that you're in. Now contract that energy in again, fueling that fire inside of desire and love. Expand it even larger, just imagining now that you're the center of the earth itself at its core. And as you expand on the out-breath, become the entire earth itself. Feel that cosmic connection. And inhale again. As you expand, now expand as large as the Milky Way galaxy. Inhale again. Exhale out as large as the entire cosmos. Inhale again, deep, deep breath this time, just feeling that center of yourself, just brimming with more energy and more love. Now expand beyond the cosmos, beyond the place, beyond the time, beyond space and time. Expand, expand, expand. And just know that right here is just the start of entering that space within you, beyond space and time, into the quantum realm of reality, where the analytical mind just goes away. We're left open to the inspiration of all that connects us together, without the chaos, without the chatter, without the phones, without the distractions and the noise, just being present in cosmic connection. I invite you now to come back into the room, wherever you are, to open your eyes when you feel ready to. And just know that I invite you to continue this meditation for yourself for as short or as long as needed. I know for me, sometimes it gets to a half hour to 40 minutes of just this breathing in and breathing out and breathing in and breathing out. And I don't even know how much time has passed by. And that's when you know you're really in that sweet spot of meditation. And it definitely takes some time to get there. But again, I started off, just like Reverend Frankie said, with 5 minutes of meditation. And now I've been able to expand where I could do a 10-day meditation retreat of complete and total silence if I wanted to, and literally heal things in the body. So the meditations are just so powerful. You know, it's so important to take that time to go within, beyond the analytical mind, to just feel and be connected to the one mind that connects us all. So I thank you for participating. Namaste.
Thank you, Michael. I went somewhere. You took me somewhere. I hope you feel a sense of deep connection with yourself, with your divinity, with the world, and can step out from that into a new place of awareness, a new place of being. Could be incredibly useful for those of you who watch the news or who are moving towards planning the election day, to stay calm. That can be our contribution, to stay peaceful, to stay trusting. So I want you to know that we have a website, as I mentioned earlier, www.cslmorristown.org, with all kinds of information, things to read, Michael's blog, a place to give. We welcome your gifts. It truly helps us be a presence in the world. And check us out on Facebook. We have a private page, a public page, Twitter, Instagram, Meetup, YouTube. I think that's about it. And we're so grateful that you decided to spend this time with us. I know that in our connection together, we are a blessing to the world. Thank you again, Michael. Let's close with a healing treatment.
Well, don't forget, we're going to Lowentaka Park.
Oh, yes.
Today,
I forgot to have to.
afterwards,
Yes, so
chance to get together.
there's a park in Morristown, if you're in this area off of South Street, called Lowentaka Park. It's spelled Lowentaka. And we're going to meet there. We met last week and we had so much fun. It's a little chillier, so bring a coat,
Great
but we're
time.
going to meet there. And yoga on Tuesday. I'm so glad you reminded me. This Tuesday yoga, every fourth Tuesday of the month, yoga with Steve Tarsitano. It's only a $5 donation. You must sign a waiver. So if you're not on our email list, let us know and we'll get you on our email list and we'll send it to you. And also we have social hour, because the park festivities begin at 12:30, from 12:30 to 2. And today we have Fernando and Kat hosting our social hour, our Zoom social hour. Again,
Please
if you
join.
want to be a part of that, let us know if you're not getting the emails. And be sure to reach out to our licensed practitioners in our center or beyond for spiritual support if you're struggling in any way. So the last thing I want to say is that Theo Tilton is teaching Prosperity Plus 3 starting November 2nd. That's a 7-week class. So if you want to know more about that, let us know.
Monday nights, right?
Monday nights. Oh my gosh, Michael, it's right here on a big yellow star and I totally missed it.
It's all right, we got it.
Yes, we got
Working
it.
together.
So let's do a spiritual mind treatment, our word for affirmative prayer. And right now I will do it in the first person. I am. The I am that I am is the same I am that you are. It's the Indra's net. It's that connection. That's the name, the I am, our essential nature. So let's know together in the I am. I am an individualized expression of the one. I am an individualized expression at this time, in this space, in this way, in who and what I am, by divine appointments, for my good, for my growth, and for my evolution. So every day I choose to stand in the truth of my very being, and I choose to live from it, knowing that there's a good possibility that I forget. And today I realize that the forgetting leads to remembering when I remember my divine appointments, when I take a moment to just be and listen to my heart of hearts and let myself be guided into the next moment. I allow myself to slow down time. I know how to do this because I know when I go on vacation, I can't wait for that time to be here. And I know that when I need to go to the dentist, it might seem like it takes forever. So I know I can use my mind to speed up or slow down time. And today I slow down time. And I dwell in my being nature. And I feel my connection with the divine. And truth reveals itself. And if it doesn't, I allow myself to be in the stillness a little bit longer, a little more often, so that I become the one that the spirit, the universe made me to be, called me to evolve into. And so I am willing, simply willing, to embrace the truth of my very being, to release whatever is in the way, and to have fun doing it. I don't have to be so serious. I can have fun doing it. I can even laugh at myself and my flawedness. I can even let go of any judgment of how anyone else is doing it. I can literally choose to be free in my own expression, in my own being, in my own doing, and in my own living. So today, I am deeply grateful for this, grateful for the medium of virtual streaming, grateful for Michael to be here with me today, grateful for our spiritual community and who we are evolving into, how we are evolving, and grateful for this beautiful teaching, the science of mind, grateful for life itself, and so it is.
And so it is.
More bubbles! I will bring
fun.
mine to the park.
Don't forget to have fun. Come out and join us at the
Don't
park.
forget to have fun. Have a beautiful day.
Bye, everybody.